Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this because this thing definitely triggers me because it's retarded! Rebounding to comics. Marvel uses Miles Morales as Spider-Man and Anya Corazon, Spider-Girl, to promote use of Latinx. Let me go right out of the bat. First and foremost, I am a Latino. O is a non-gendered normal use of the word. Latina is given. It's a gendered word, as in it's the only word that is used to describe the feminine, and the Latino is both for masculine and feminine. There is no in between. Yes, Latin-based languages are first and foremost gender-based language. Every object has its gender. It's completely normal. From Spanish, Italian, or whatever, all have a gendered-based object. And secondly, there's only two genders. Either way, let's go. Oh, and another thing. The Control-Left attempt to actually popularize the word Latinx is a very, very retarded use because this word is impossible to pronounce on any other Latin-based language. It's just more of, let's grab their own language and use against them. I'm all about using their own rules against themselves. Hey, it would be selfish of me if I subject myself with their rules and only me and not share it around. Every time they use the word Latinx, go right ahead and tell them this. I find it exceptionally offensive that you're using the English colonialist approach and trying to colonialize and use your imperialist mentality to try and change a very beautiful language by adding an X in the end of the word. Use their own language against them. That's the only way these imbecilic, cock-sucking, fucking butt-sniffing shit on a goddamn fucking dirty toilet will learn. Right. Despite the fact that only 3% of Hispanics use the term to self-identify themselves, and even more consider it to be equivalent to a racial slur, yes, it is. Marvel's latest issue of the Diversity Celebrating Voices series features a story in which the Miles Morales incarnation of Spider-Man and Anya Corazon, a version of Spider-Girl, attempt to justify the use of the existence of Latinx to the reader. And what Bound into Comics actually said is actually very, very, very true. About 1 in 4 US Hispanics have heard of Latinx, and just 3% use it. Only 3% of those who actually heard of the word, so you know it's a minority of a minority of a minority. And it's usually one of those who are a third or fourth generation Latino living in America. Or those who actually believe they are 164th or 170 or whatever percentage Latino. Only those who like the virtual signal. That's about it. Anyway, written by Oliwanta and Enid Balam, I don't care. Helping a woman pick up her protest site. Of course it has to be protest sites because whatever, what else is new? Miles and Anya then agree to attend the rally, swinging off to Miles' Brooklyn home to create their own set of protest material. Oh, for fuck's sake. Comic books today are not comic books of the past. They are more propaganda bullshit than anything else. Let's see. I design yours? Yes, thank you so much. I was headed to the immigrants' rights rally at the city before I ran into this MacLeod.
What did you say, Spider-Girl? You know, for a midday demonstration.
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, good lord, just kill me already. Is that the same one or not? Okay, we're gonna use a different voice. Anya, what does that mean? Latinx, it sounds like Latrine. Yeah, it sounds like something I'm gonna go and take a shit on. I've heard the term thrown around lately, but I've never had the opportunity to really ask about it. Alright.
Latinx is just a more inclusive way to refer to people rather than Latino or Latina.
That shows the complete and total ignorance of the language, you goddamn fucking bitch! Latino is not a given word, or that means it's not a marked word. It means you can use it for both males and females. You absolute retarded fucking bull cunt of a goddamn bitch. Inclusive? What's wrong with Latino or Latina? Good lord, this sound... No. This comic book is actually sounding a lot like one of those comics that I used to see from time to time from when a church would pass on and try to be hip with the youngins and give us comic books, and you're gonna read, what the fuck is this bullshit? And you read it, and it's just proselytizing. English is complicated. It's just preachy nonsense. You read, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. It's the same bullshit. And even worse, this is probably even worse because it's coming from Marvel. Weren't those working just fine until now?
Well, think about Latinx. Yes, especially because it sounds something like I'm gonna go and take a shit, a very noisy shit of a very bad taquito. It's an all-encompassing term, especially because nobody on Latin-based languages pronounce that normally. And even more so, it definitely sounds like toilet, a latrine. And it sounds even better when it's a latrine. I'm gonna use my colonialist English superiority and shit on your goddamn fucking language. It doesn't assume anyone's gender the way that Spanish usually does.
You retarded goddamn fucking bitch. Like I said before, the person who wrote this is a goddamn filthy fucking retard who probably doesn't even speak Spanish properly. Or failed Spanish in class or something like that. Or slept through the classes. Or something, because Latino is the gender neutral word. This triggers me so much because you goddamn fucking pieces of shit are so goddamn fucking stupid. Right.
Latina may be working just fine for people like us who identify as female, but for those who are gender non-conforming,
use Latino, you imbecile.
Or identify as non-binary,
which doesn't exist.
Or gender fluid,
doesn't exist.
The forced gendering of Latino and Latina can be really tricky to deal with.
Jesus Christ. Sometimes I would like to take the person who actually wrote this nonsensical religious bullshit, go to an X-ray machine and see if there's a brain inside that goddamn hollow skull. God. Is my vein popping? Yes, this thing triggers me. Oh God, this thing is... It's war. It's just son of blood. Oh, I forgot his voice. No. Just didn't want me to it, but then got annoyed with me for not doing it right anyway. Stop using mixing all the words. You are actually a Native American. You spent your entire life speaking English. Why do you need to shove in a Spanish word just to sound hip I find that retarded, especially... No, I find that exceptionally denigrating. Anyway, because I'll read the means later, but learning means right now. So maybe language should be adapted when it merges up something as important as someone's personal identity. Oh god, that situation is a bit of a mess. Kill me. Yeah, let me drink this first. Before Latino, they just call us Hispanic, which never felt quite right for me either. Why not? But on the other hand, I know a lot of people who still prefer the term Hispanic. I forgot his voice, so I'm definitely floating around.
I think it's just about figuring out what works best for you.
And now I remember. Similar to the Cookie Monster.
Very respecting what works best for other people, right? And
yeah, but that's pretty much what I'm getting at.
I assume that's the other bitch. One more question. Does Latinx even translate to Spanish? No, it does not. Because I think that's probably a pretty important part of this, right?
Yeah, of course, the term was actually developed by the alphabet people in Latin America. So it's definitely translated.
No, it does not. Trust me, it does not. Try speaking that in French, or Portuguese, or Italian, or in Spanish. It sounds absolutely retarded and exceptionally, extremely mouthful. The words does not travel naturally through your mouth. It does not. Oh god. This preachy is definitely triggering me.
Oh, yes, and Latrine is even better. Latrine, it's where we all go to take a shit. Is an art inclusive alternative that's been gaining steam lately, though Latinx is still the most accepted term at the moment. But you ultimately should just use whatever term feels more comfortable for you and those around you, Latino. It's not a huge deal. Oh, yes, it is. It's a huge deal. If you don't use the right term like Latrine, you're gonna get cancelled.
God damn it. Seriously, the entire comic book in here is exactly what you feel like when you open those religious comic books. It's the same shit! The city by of action by immigrant activists is culminating this unprecedented rally of the city hall. Thousands of Latino families, Latrine families and their allies have come together to make their voices heard, their demands of dignity. Oh, good lord. Just fucking kill me. I can't take this anymore. Marvel, do me a favor, as a Latino myself, go and shove your goddamn fucking retarded fucking bullshit where the sun doesn't fucking shine and choke on it. Right, on that fucking hell. Have a great fucking night.